Okay, so today we're going to talk about the subconscious, conscious, subconscious, and I'm going to talk about some of the problems. We have a video on subconscious. I suggest you watch it, but this is a little bit different. So, most of the time we talk about, this is like the little garbage can thing, right? Conscious, subconscious. Subconscious, what we are not aware of. So we don't, the things we don't know, things we can't focus on, but are inside. This is all subconscious. And so we say it like this, but the reality is, it's like this. And it's not even like this. It's like consciousness, subconscious. All that you don't know, not in your head, and this little bit is all you know. So the consciousness, your problem and why you get stuck is because you think your consciousness has power. Your consciousness is very, very tiny compared to the vast computational ability of the subconscious. Subconscious is big, and it's very, very vast. It holds a lot of information. Conscious holds very little, just the 5-10 things you can think of at one time, right now. You can think together 5-10 things. Women, maybe 10, men, maybe 5. But the thing is that neither can think of 100 things at the same time. So, we talk in the other video about how the subconscious is there to, solve problems. I don't know what to eat today. Someone asks you, hey, what do you want to eat for dinner? And you say, I don't know. Think about it. You get busy. So, from the consciousness, what do you eat for dinner goes into your subconscious, and then your subconscious looks at, what do you like? What do you not like? What are you allergic to? What did your ex like? Because you don't like anything your ex liked. What does your, what's your mom like? What can you afford? What's out there? How geographic, there's like a million variables to figure out the answer to what do you want to eat for dinner tomorrow or tonight. Who do you think does all that work? And I assure you, it's not your consciousness. You can sit there, what should I eat? You'll be sitting there for hours and no answer will come, or it won't be a good answer. Or you can just forget about it. Let your subconscious fix it. And then the consciousness you can come up with an answer. So that's your subconscious. It's very vast. This even this understates it. It's, if the subconscious has 10 units of space, then, or if the consciousness is 10 units of whatever unit you like, of just number, then, I don't know, but let's just say 10, that's what, 10, let's just say it's like, like that. What number is that? That is 1,000, million, billion, trillion, 10 trillion, 10 trillion. That's the relationship of this conscious and the subconscious. That's how much information you can handle in a conscious way, 10 units, and how much space you have maybe is 10 trillion. That's probably even still, the yogis would say something different, but that's how vast it is. Now I want to sort of link this to therapy. So in the other video, we talk about how, you know, you get trauma, you get bad things happening in your life, it all fills up, right? Lots of little things, small things, big things. It kind of just all starts filling up. It creates stress. Stress. And then you end up here, someplace like now, where life isn't working the way you'd like it to work, and you're really stressed out. You're triggered by everything. Everything triggers you, you know? So, how do you heal this? And I can tell you a couple of ways that you don't heal this. Let's say, I'm going to just be mathematical about this. Your consciousness, let's say it can process, you know, 10 units per second. That's pretty good. How many seconds are there in a minute? There's 60 seconds. How many seconds in an hour? It's like 3,600 seconds. 24 hours, how many seconds is it? 3,600 times 24, I don't know. What is it?
A lot.
It's a lot, right? But like, let's say it's like, you know, let's just say that's something like, I don't know, 10,000 units. 10,000 units per day. Which seems really, really awesome. Really fast. A lot of speed. But the trouble is you have 10 trillion units of dysfunctional, messed up stuff. So, how many days would it take to deal with 10 trillion units? That's a bit of a mathematical problem, so we just take 10 units off. Okay, so that's like, I don't know, 10 million days? If you want to take every one of these things, bring it into your conscious space, have an hour-long therapy session with somebody, talk it out, 10 million days. How long does a human live? I don't know. Okay, let's do math. So like 70 years average, 365, that's like 70, you know, 365, 70 years, I don't know, like 100,000 days or something like that. Or I don't know. I can't. I don't have my phone. My phone is recording. But anyway, let's say. So if you accept the mathematics, which is just Dr. Gill kind of just putting numbers out there, but like, you know, this is more than your lifetime. If you approach it like that, you're going to be unable to solve this task. And if you think this is unrealistic, I want you to remember this. Your body and your mind forgets nothing. Everything that's ever happened to you since you were a kid, since you were conceived, and probably before you were conceived, is stored. Good and the bad. And so it adds up. It adds up. And so if you think you can get better by going to 1 hour therapy once a week, without doing your own self-therapy, it's delusional. It can't work. Okay, so then you pay $70,000 for a rehab place. $70,000 a month. I could get into that, right? Like it's $70,000 a month per patient. You know, talking mathematics, 10 beds, $700,000 a month. That's pretty good. And every time I've tried to make profit in life, I usually lose money, so I don't try to make profit. So I just want to sort of point out to you, this is why de-addiction doesn't work. You go to a center and you try to come out fixed, it don't work. Because you can't process this much information without a journey. Because there's just too much information. It takes time. It takes time. This is why it takes time. And in this journey, you have to work hard. But you also have to work smart. Working hard is going to the therapist every week for 20 years. That's working hard. Working smart is going to the therapist every week for 20 years, but building a daily practice. A daily practice might be able to increase the amount of units that you can process a day to maybe like 1 million units a day. Upgrade your ability to process. We have to work smart, which means we have to find ways to work with this information so that we're not having to think about everything. A lot of people, they come into therapy, they're like, why do I do that? Why do I always drink? Why do I get triggered by this or that? Why? What is it? And they get hung up on it. The roots of present-day triggers do lie in the past. Roots, past. But I've never found, and I'm a trauma therapist, I work with people's roots all the time. I've never found that either me or the patient knows where the roots are. If they're bothered by like the color red shirt triggers them for some reason, and they may say, oh yeah, I was bullied by people in school who are wearing red. That bothers me now. That's what they think, but what they forgot is that mom, who didn't treat them that well at the age of 2 years old, also used to wear red. They don't know that. They don't remember that. But that doesn't mean it's not true. That's why the roots of present-day triggers lies in the past, and you won't know it. Trying to find it out is kind of like trying to, like putting your healing system on hold so you can put all this information through your consciousness, but your consciousness is very limited. And so you're going to be doing it a long time. It's going to take many lifetimes, and you're going to die long before you get any benefit. That's working hard. It's not working smart. Working smart is, I don't care where the roots are. I just want to heal. That's working smart. A lot of times we try to find out why. You know, a person thinks they have mom issues and they go through all the thing and it turns out they actually have dad issues. Working hard is doing all the work, and you need to work hard. This is hard work. You have to work hard. There's no shortcut. Working smart is really about making your subconscious do the work. So within the subconscious is what I call the innate healing potential. Innate healing potential is like, have you ever asked yourself, if you have a cut on your hand, why does it heal? Any of you have cut on your hand or on your body? Ever have a wound? Yeah, everyone's cut themselves, right? Does it heal?
Yeah.
Even if you don't go to the doctor, does it heal?
Yeah.
Does it always heal? It's pretty reliable. It always heals. The trouble is, or the thing is that sometimes it doesn't heal easily. Sometimes it gets infected. Sometimes it's dirty. You have to clean it out. Sometimes you need surgery. But the surgeon doesn't do the healing for it. That's just, healing is so complicated, we have not been able to recreate it in a laboratory for physical wounds. It kind of makes sense then that we have a mental healing system, right? We have a social healing system. We have a a spiritual healing system. And we do. It's housed in your subconscious, and you know, when we can do things that empower our subconscious to start looking after its own stuff, so like you're just kind of clearing it from the inside without you knowing, then you can actually start to heal faster. And the thing is, this is actually well known. Lots of people, lots of systems have ways of healing. You know, what do you think happens when you pray? Lots of cultures pray. Prayer is the basis of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's the basis of a lot of religion. You ever ask yourself, what's happening there? And chances are what's happening there is you're taking something, you're activating innate healing potential. So why not? What's wrong with that? When you take a mantra or an affirmation and you repeat it 100 times or 1,000 times, it gets more powerful the longer you do it. But what's happening is your subconscious starts to echo it. So let's take the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When I start saying this a lot, in the West, I don't know why, but people don't like to say things many times. Say it once, say it twice, say it 10 times, say it, but no one says anything 30 million times, or 300,000 times. But you know what? If you say healing things a lot, you'd end up turning it, you create you have like a little part that's like your innate healing potential, and you increase its size. And it starts gobbling up this stuff at a far faster rate. You know, maybe you get up to maybe you can process like 1 billion units a day. Okay, 1 billion units a day, 10 trillion, it's 10,000. 10,000 days. Well, that's reasonable. That's a couple of years. It's reasonable. 10 years, actually, ish. So the thing is that and the point of this video, this talk, is to get you away from the question of why. I assure you, you don't know, and I would argue you probably don't have the ability to comprehend why things happen. I can just make it simple as hurt people, heal people, and healing is contagious. So the thing is that you just stop asking the question why. When you ask why, as much as you feel like you're entitled to the answer, why activates your amygdala, shuts down your frontal cortex, and makes your capacity go down. If your capacity is like 10,000 units a day, you make it 50 a day. Useless. Slows you down. It's working not smart. You can't help it because you're hurt. People hurt you, you know, you want to get back at them, or you know, all that. That's the decision you have to make. So you can heal roots. It heals faster if you allow your subconscious. Doing things like meditating repetitively on things creates an echo chamber in your subconscious to heal. If you don't believe me, if you're not in the habit of repeating something, then just go and do it. Just give it a try for 2 weeks. See how you feel. If the serenity prayer is your thing, you're used to saying it once or twice a day, try saying it like 1,000 times in a day. Or 100 times. And see what happens. Don't believe me. Start to become a scientist. That's how you're going to start to work smart. You're gonna you confirm things for yourself that work. Don't just accept things blindly, but confirm it. A lot of religions use shabads and mantras and affirmations repetitively. You have to ask yourself why. Why do they do that? Probably because it's effective. And I'm just trying to give you a bit of theory as to why. A powerful prayer said something like, heal the roots of my pains and slowly without me knowing. You can ask for that. The brain works like Google. You can send commands. So make your consciousness what it actually is. It's like a captain. The consciousness is like a captain. Treat it like a captain. The captain doesn't go into engineering and say, hey, do this, do that, cut that wire, push that button. The captain doesn't know nothing about that. The captain knows how to manage people, decisions, risks. The engineer knows what that button does and knows the consequence of that. The captain needs to learn to communicate with the engineer. Your subconscious is your engineer. There's a couple of them in there. They're really good if you communicate with them. And you can. So there's a separate lecture that will talk about bridging affirmations. But today I wanted to just introduce this concept. Any questions or comments about this? All right. Well, questions and comments always come afterwards. So I will leave it at that for today. And